Now, I published a piece on Substack about this where I go into even more detail, but let me explain what this is about. After 15 years on this platform, you learn a few of the things that are just reality. To get more new subscribers, you have to have more video views. If your video views go down, you're going to have fewer new subscribers, except if something very weird is happening. The headline stat is that in Q2 of this year, Benny Johnson's YouTube channel gained 2.2 million subscribers, making it by far the fastest growing politics related channel of the second quarter, by far.
In this video, David Pakman exposes Benny Johnson's shady rise with a chilling reality check. And yeah, it's not your usual call out. Pakman's been on YouTube for over 15 years, and when a channel just suddenly blows up without the views to back it, something's clearly off. He knows what organic growth looks like, and he knows how the platform actually works. And what Benny's been putting just doesn't seem to match the pattern at all. And we're not talking about a little bump here and there. We're talking millions of new subscribers with barely any change in views. And while Pacman's not outright accusing anyone of cheating the system, he lays out exactly why this kind of growth doesn't just pass the smell test. So make sure to watch till the end to see how David Pacman exposes Benny Johnson's shady rise with this chilling reality check.
Now, why is this unusual? It's unusual because the growth in subscribers for Benny Johnson does not match growth in views. In fact, his views appear to be down slightly. Now, before we go deeper, remember who we're dealing with here. Benny Johnson was caught up in this 2024 scandal where it was revealed that he was indirectly receiving Russian money through a company called Tenet. Johnson and others said we had no idea the money came from Russia. The payment rates were wildly above market rate, in some cases $400,000 a month. Some even had six-figure signing bonuses. So this is not someone with a spotless track record. Now let's get back to the data. Normally, more views means more subscribers. It's not exact, but that's the pattern. Here's a look at my own channel, about 3.3 million subscribers right now. This is actual data from my YouTube analytics, and you can see clearly more views, more subscribers. It's predictable. That's how it works. Now look at Benny Johnson's data from Q2. The arrows show huge subscriber growth, but views that are either flat or declining. This is weird. Now compare this to Midas Touch. Midas Touch is one of the fastest growing progressive YouTube channels right now. Similar subscriber numbers, but their views match their subscriber growth. Midas has had high views, high subscribers. That's what you would expect. So what's going on here? There are really only a few scenarios where you see subscriber numbers and view numbers separate, decouple. Number one, if you say something truly awful, like so disgusting that it encourages your existing subscribers to unsubscribe, you could see that as the views go up of this disgusting thing you said, your net subscribers go down because people go, I got to unsubscribe. This is absolutely disgusting. But that's the opposite of what we're seeing. We're not seeing high views and subscribers going down. We're seeing low views and subscribers going up.
Okay, so right off the bat, this whole situation just screams manufactured. Pacman isn't just spitballing some hater theory. He's showing exactly why Benny Johnson's growth doesn't follow any normal pattern at all. And look, the basic YouTube rule is simple. More views, more subs. If your content's popping, your sub count should naturally rise with it. But what Benny's got going on? It's the complete reverse. He's bleeding views while somehow gaining millions of subscribers. That's not shady, that's practically a glitch in this matrix. And now here's where it gets even sketchier. Pacman's reminding us who we're dealing with. Benny Johnson, not some clean-cut political commentator. This is the same guy tied to a 2024 scandal where it came out he was indirectly taking Russian money through a company called Tenet. And not just small-time donations. We're talking payments way above the market, like hundreds of thousands of dollars a month and even six-figure signing bonuses. These aren't numbers you throw around unless something deeply suspicious is going on behind the curtain. So no, this dude does not get the benefit of the doubt. And when you've got a track record like that, people are gonna raise eyebrows, and rightfully so. And Pacman's not just out here throwing out accusations left and right, he backs it up with his own analytics. He shows that with his 3.3 million subscribers, his growth is actually tied to his views. You get more views, you get more subs. Predictable, trackable. Now contrast that with Benny's channel in Q2, where there's massive spikes in subscribers, but the views are stagnant or even dipping. That's not just a red flag, that's a whole siren. So yeah, this isn't just an analytical blip. This is a pattern that stinks of artificial inflation. Whether it's sketchy marketing, dirty money, or some black hat subscriber manipulation, Pacman's making it clear. Whatever's going on with Benny Johnson's channel, it's not normal, and definitely not earned.
And that's what gets us to the most likely scenario, which is some kind of artificial subscriber growth. And this is where things get complicated. Artificial subscriber growth might be completely legal paid ad campaigns. You run YouTube ads or Google ads, they're targeting subscriptions to your YouTube channel. You could do that. It's really inefficient for political channels. I don't know anybody who actually does it because the targeting isn't great. It's just really expensive. You've got to pay a crazy amount of money for a relatively small number of subscribers. However, if someone else is paying for that, if you had a super PAC, a foreign government, some propaganda agency, a wealthy ally, the logic changes. They're not worried about profit. They're after influence. So they might just pour money into inflating your channel subscribers through paid campaigns just to boost your reach. Now, there's other scenarios like maybe you're using some kind of technical trick, some auto subscribe pop up somewhere or embedded subscriber links or stuff like that. YouTube's terms of service don't allow that, and that stuff tends to get shut down. And finally, you could do what's called subscriber farming. This is probably the most concerning. There's a sort of black market for YouTube subscribers. You can buy them through click farms, hacked accounts, and in other ways. It's classic manipulation. These are like the tactics that Russia's Internet Research Agency does. You fake the numbers to make it seem as though you have a lot more influence. The fake subscribers are low quality. Over time, they tend to get purged out. But in the short term, they can really boost your clout by showing a really high subscriber number. So what is Benny Johnson actually doing? I have no idea. I want to be clear. I don't have evidence that any of the things I mentioned are happening on his channel. After 15 years of being on YouTube, I have never seen subscriber growth like this without a spike in views. I've talked to other creators. None of them have ever seen it.
And this is where Pacman just lays it all out, theory by theory, not in a conspiracy laced rant, but in a measured breakdown of how artificial subscriber growth can happen. Because at this point, that's the most logical explanation. Organic growth doesn't look like Benny's, and the deeper you go, the more this all reeks of something being propped up behind the curtain. Pacman starts with the most above board explanation: paid ads. Sure, it's technically legal to run YouTube or Google ads that drive people to subscribe to your channel, but in the political space, it's just not done. Why? Because it's wildly inefficient. You burn through insane amounts of money for barely any return. So no, Benny Johnson or anyone running a lean independent political show probably isn't sinking their own cash into that kind of campaign. Which brings us to the question, what if it's not his money? And that's where it gets real. If you've got a super PAC footing the bill, or worse, a foreign government or propaganda outfit, now the math starts making sense. They don't care about profit, they care about reach. They care about narrative manipulation. So they'll dump money into subscriber growth, not because they want to build a loyal audience, but because they want to build the illusion of credibility. If people think a channel is exploding, they assume what it's saying must be important. That fake clout just turns into real influence. And if it's not paid ads, then we're talking trickery. Shady tactics like embedded auto-subscribes, deceptive links, even backdoor scripts. That stuff violates YouTube's terms, but for a while, it can fly under the radar. And then Pacman drops the real red flag here: subscriber farming. This is textbook manipulation. Click farms, hacked accounts, bots, stuff straight out of the Russian Internet Research Agency's playbook. Literally. It's how bad actors create fake engagement to hijack online influence.
Whatever is going on, the implications are big, and it's bigger than YouTube. If this is a coordinated third party campaign, it raises really serious questions about influence operations manipulating platform metrics. If this is an algorithmic exploit, it would mean YouTube's defenses are weaker than we thought. That impacts everybody. And if this is paid acquisition for political gain, even legally, it could trigger a new arms race for artificial growth, and that will warp the field for independent voices, small creators, and those who don't have the pockets to generate artificial growth. Now, if this is straight up fraud, bots purchase subscribers, that would mean it's still pretty easy to game the system. And the fallout isn't just views or clout, it's media coverage. It's look at the growth of this channel. He must be saying important things. Well, is he? Or is there some kind of artificial subscriber acquisition here? So this is by far the most suspicious thing I've seen on YouTube. And it hurts all of the progressive channels because many of us don't have the third party or whatever it is that is just dumping money into artificial growth. So what can we do? Number one, if you see something that doesn't make sense, report it to the platform that you're seeing it on. And number two, this is free. Just make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channels of the creators you actually support. We estimate that even though we have 3.25 million subscribers on YouTube, every month there's another 4 million people watching the videos who don't subscribe. If you are in that 4 million, if you watch the videos but don't subscribe, consider hitting the subscribe button. It doesn't hurt you in any way, but it really helps us. And it's the best tool we have against this sort of algorithmic distortion.
And at the end of the day, this isn't just about Benny Johnson. What Pakman's laying out here is a warning shot for the entire digital ecosystem. If this really is some kind of third party operation, whether it's foreign funded, algorithmic exploitation, or good old fashioned fraud, it doesn't just tilt the playing field, it burns it down for everyone who plays fair. Independent creators, small progressive voices, anyone who doesn't have a shadowy money pipeline backing them, they just get buried under artificially boosted noise. And that's the real danger. Not just that someone's gaming the system, but that it works. Mainstream media sees big numbers and thinks, hey, this guy must be saying something important. But what if that reach is just manufactured clout wrapped in a subscriber count? Pakman's not just calling it suspicious, he's calling it what it is, a threat to fairness, transparency, and actual influence on these platforms. And it's wild that this level of manipulation can happen in plain sight while creators who rely on real engagement have to fight just to stay visible. So yeah, the next time someone just shrugs off the idea of coordinated influence online, whether political, financial, or foreign, just remember how easy it apparently still is to fake credibility and hijack attention. If even YouTube can't catch it, what does that say about the rest of our media? This isn't just bias, this is distortion dressed up as success. And speaking of bias,
are you getting tired of getting news from biased news sources? One outlet says one thing and another says the complete opposite? How are you supposed to know what's actually true? That's where ground news comes in. It lets you compare how different media outlets, whether it's left, right, or center, are covering the same story. So you can see the full picture instead of just the echo chamber. And here's the best part. Click the link in the description and get a 40% off the Vantage tier, which gives you even deeper insights in media bias and political trends. So stay informed, think for yourself, and check out ground news in the description down below.